Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Million Dollar Media. I'm your host, Max Keller Halls, and with me today we have.
Hi, it's Willow.
And today we are talking about the smash hit, unexpected banner Sinners, the Ryan Coogler horror vampire movie that's a lot more than just that.
I'd say so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so basically, what this movie is about a set of twins, the Smokestack twins, both played by Michael B. Jordan, who come back to their hometown and are wanting to set up a juke shack, black owned, black run juke shack. So they're like getting everything ready. They're getting all the food prepped, all the music set for, and the first night it gets attacked by vampires, and that's the movie.
That was a perfect summary of it. Good job.
No, I know. I mean, it's a very classic horror movie setup, but man, does this movie just nail it on the head. Like, this movie talks about things that I wasn't ready to talk about. Well, like places that they went with this movie regarding music, regarding art, regarding like just like relationships in general. I don't know. This is the best movie I've seen since Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I love that movie.
You're kidding. Oh my God, this is the best movie you've seen since then?
Oh, yeah.
I never got to see it, so I feel kind of left out, but I will watch it and then let you know what I think.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean like Everything Everywhere All at Once is just a emotional, wacky, fun adventure movie that like tug at my heartstrings in such an interesting way. Whereas this film, it was just like watching pure art on screen, like just a creative genius just going buck wild in whatever he wants to do.
Absolutely. Were you scared at all by this movie?
What do you mean?
Well, because it's a horror movie, so like, was there any point where you were like gripping the edge of your seat or sitting at the edge of your seat or gripping your
I mean,
chair?
mm, a little bit, but I'm not like I wouldn't say this movie's scary. I say it's more tense. Like there's no
Yeah,
moment, like there was no like big jump scare moment or like scary thing or scary concept that like made me grip the edge of my seat and like, oh god, that's terrifying. Like there's no gore, like gross out thing. Like I think what it reminded me more of are just like 80s, 90s horror action movies. Like, okay, I have to say this, and this is with a big caveat, because I know there's a lot of controversy online surrounding this movie when you compare it to another movie.
okay.
So I'll just say this. Yes, this movie does have elements of From Dusk Till Dawn. The idea that it's a movie about two brothers who are criminals who go to a establishment that has vampires attack it. That's where the
Yeah.
similarities end. The way they handled
Valid, valid.
the twin brother the twins in this movie, genius. I loved it. Because in From Dusk Till Dawn, George Clooney is somewhat likable, and Quentin Tarantino in that movie is a bastard. Whereas in this movie, like I think Smoke is more of the like level-headed one, but he's also the more cold killer kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
he's the one that will like get in people's face and like put the fear of God in people. Whereas Stack is a little bit more carefree. He's the voice. He's the mouth. He's the guy who will say things that maybe will get him in trouble, but like he's all the talk. Whereas Smoke is more all the walk.
I'd agree. And then which one, remind me, which one is the one with the love interest?
They both have love interests. So that's the thing.
You're right. The one with the baby.
Ah, Smoke. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. No, that whole thing was a really interesting like little backstory that they get into a little bit, but I really
That was the
appreciated.
best part of the whole movie.
I mean, that's the ending really rides on that like emotional beat of like, oh, okay, he's with them now, and I really
Yeah.
that stuck with me, man. Just like a simple little pure image. I just gotta say,
Mhm.
Wumni Mosaku,
Yes.
she's so fucking good.
She is really good. She's the best character. I was between, for me, Michael B. Jordan, who plays both Smoke and Stack,
I
and
was
her,
gonna
but
say
she,
which one.
I know, she was really, really good in this. And I know there was a lot of talk about her being the love interest, like made the movie even better.
Oh yeah.
I think, I think that's so true.
I first saw her in the Loki TV show, and she's really good in that. Like the way she like has a good arc in that show that made me like hate her at first, but then really come to love her at the end. and then her appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine, and then her just fucking nailing this movie. Like, she's so wise, she's so human, relatable. She commands respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. She's awesome. And I love that.
Her character was written really well.
Oh yeah, and I love a character who's just like, "Yep, we're dealing with vampires. That's what we're dealing with."
Right, she was the voice of reason. Like, okay,
Mhm.
guys, we got to get this together.
Mm-hmm.
And if I die, this is how you handle it. It was
Mhm.
really good.
I love it. Yeah, I loved her
So good.
character. She's so good.
I think honestly, all of the characters were casted really well. I was
Mhm.
surprised that Michael B. Jordan was playing twins. I did not know that before I got to the movie theater, but
Yeah.
he did an amazing job. That's
Right.
hard.
He has chemistry with himself.
He does.
Like, there were some moments where I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the same person," but he just played his
Yeah,
different mannerisms, everything. I was like, "This is really good."
so good. And so, what are your favorite themes, or I guess parts of this movie?
I think for me, and I definitely want to get your opinion on,
Mhm.
was definitely like the cultural like appropriation, and like from what I've heard online is the term cultural vampirism, of
Mm.
like people outside looking in on this like juke shack. And oh my god, Miles Canton, as who is pretty much the main character of this movie, as
Sammy.
He's great. He's got a great voice. He's a great character. I love the arc he goes on in this movie. From like, it's a coming of age story, but like the thing they talk about with like there's just that moment in music that just transcends time. I love that stuff. That stuff was like really awesome. The "I Lied to You" music number is
Yeah.
incredible.
I think so too.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
I
scene?
wasn't. No, I love it, and I wasn't expecting the music to be so good. Was it original?
The music in this movie is done by Ludwig Göransson, who is a white Swedish guy who's worked with Ryan Coogler from Creed to Black Panther to Wakanda Forever. He's also done the score for movies like Oppenheimer and the show The Mandalorian. So he's just got a great ear and just great music talent. The way that Ludwig was able to recreate early 1900s Southern blues music that made it feel like authentic to that culture was really impressive to me.
Yeah, I had no idea that he was white. Where'd you say he was from?
I think he's Swedish. I can't be with a name like Bjornsson. I'm assuming he's Swedish, but
Interesting.
I think, and also just the help from Ryan Coogler too, who just knows what he wants. And
Right.
music has just always been a big part of like a lot of Ryan Coogler's movies. Like the soundtrack for the first Black Panther film, done by Kendrick, is
So good.
just
Oh my God.
so good. So when I heard that this movie was going to be focusing on music, I was like, oh, he's just going to get all the best artists for this movie, and he's already got Ludwig Göransson on hand. But no, yeah, just I love the theme of like this culture being sought after, even though they're just trying to hold on to this little slice of life, because like the community that they're in are like, it's still like post Civil War, like plantations and cotton picking. Like that's the scene. They open up with people picking cotton, so it's not like a derogatory term in this movie. It's literally just that. And
Yeah.
and so the way that this juke shack is supposed to be like this pure black made thing that is just taken, like, is being sought after by not only these Klansmen but also this Irish vampire.
Interesting. Yeah. The way you said that was interesting.
Yeah.
But definitely.
Well, what did you think of it? What was your favorite theme of this movie?
I absolutely love the history of this movie. And like I actually looked it up because I knew we were doing this today.
Mhm.
I didn't know it was based on Ryan Coogler's Uncle James. This
didn't.
story reminded me a lot of like the stories I've heard from my grandmother, and then like obviously what I've heard about my great grandmother and her history. I think it's so cool because we don't often get films like this that highlight that era, like that post Civil War era, and then like pre Great Migration. Well, that was during the Great Migration, I guess. It was 1930.
Yeah, this is like early 1930s. No, yeah, you're so right. Like, I mean, to a lesser degree on my end, my mom's side of the family is from like Tennessee and Mississippi, like all that area. So like a lot of like the way people were talking was similar to how family members of mine would talk. So it was like, oh, okay, I recognize this and it feels good, and just like the Southern hospitality between people, but just seeing it in more of a primarily black community was interesting.
Yeah, did you learn anything or were you confused about anything? I'm just curious.
No, I mean, I
Uh,
definitely learned some stuff from watching it as a movie. It was kind of cool to just see a movie that takes place during that time that wasn't about like suffering. It was
mm,
more about like expression and community and trying to like make something like with music and dancing and just relationship building with people. Like I thought that was really cool, and just to see it all be like attacked by these outside forces was like, yeah, no, this is what it must have been like. I mean, again, I can't speak for that stuff, but the movie does such a good job of making me feel those emotions that these people went through.
yeah. I was gonna ask you a question, but I don't remember what it was. Oh my god.
Well, I
Mm.
guess I can ask you like, did you have like a particular favorite character in this movie?
Ooh, my favorite character was, wait 1 second. I'm trying to remember his name. Favorite character. What was the man's name? He was like the alcoholic at first.
Oh, I forgot the character's name, but he's played by Delroy Lindo.
Yes. Okay, wait, I'm
Who
looking it up. Okay, Delta Slim. That's what they called him.
Delta? Yes, thank you for actually having good notes on you.
It's okay. No, he was my favorite character.
Mhm.
And I really thought one of the best parts was when they were in the car
Oh yeah,
and he was talking about his friend who like just so happened to be lynched.
yeah.
Um it made me think about how there's so much suffering in the black community
Hmm.
that comes from that time period. But at that time, obviously, like there's so much trauma, so much PTSD. Like I can't even use words to describe it because like I'm just not fully equipped, I don't think, but so much trauma that went unhealed then, it was healed by music
Yeah.
or like alcoholism,
Hmm.
and then how that's passed down now, like generations later, and it's still unsolved for a lot of people because like how do you deal with something like that? Like I know it was kind of a little bit historical fiction, but thinking like wow, that really actually happened. Like it was a small part of the movie kind of, but
Hmm.
it just had a really big impact on me.
Obviously, so it's a horrific thing that like if you get a little bit of out of line, quote unquote, you are dead, or like people will come after you. Like that's a whole theme throughout this movie. Like these brothers are making this juke shack, and they have to buy it from what turns out to be is a clan member who just like sells this place so that in the morning they can get them. Like it's
Absolutely horrible.
because like little bit of things that they're just asking for just to feel like quote unquote normal and human,
Yeah,
and then it just gets taken away. And like that's where the thing that's fun is that like the most supernatural thing in this movie are just vampires. And
yeah,
that's what I love about the movie is like everything can be seen as reality, and like these things actually happen. This is the way people talked. And then you just get thrown an Irish vampire who, by the way, might be my favorite character in the movie.
yeah.
Well,
His
he's
character was the most interesting. And then did he sing multiple times?
yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, I do love the "I lied to you" scene, but my ass was definitely tapping my foot during the Irish jig during the Rocky
Yes.
Road to Dublin. I couldn't help it.
Are you Irish at all, Max?
I have a little bit of Irish in me. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for people listening, if you've seen any of the trailer reactions I do, I have a little bit of strawberry blonde in my hair, and I'm very freckled. So that's why I assume I am Irish. Going on more the Irish thing about this character, I've heard people compare the slavery going on with black people to what was going on with Irish people. And
Crazy.
it is interesting. People go like, "Oh yeah, we're just the same." The thing is like Irish people are still white. You can quote unquote
Yeah.
pass easier.
Yeah.
So it's different.
It's so different.
Yeah, it is. And it's just like, and so during the movie when he was just like constantly being like, "Oh yeah, we're just the same. We both went through stuff." I was like, I don't know about that. but I could see like someone who is like the first thing that we see in this movie is like him running away from like a bunch of Native American vampire hunters who were awesome.
I wanted to see more of that. I'm mad that they were not in the movie more.
I know, they look so cool. I
Ugh.
was like, damn, this is a cool idea. Like, or vampirism is native to America. So they just have a system in place. Like, well, shit, it's dark. We gotta go.
I feel like there can be a whole different movie based on what
I
happened
know.
before he even showed up at the house. Like
I
that
know.
would have been so cool.
That's the fun of it, man. And that's what I like about Remick, though, is like from his point of view, yes, he is persecuted. Like he's constantly being hunted by these hunters, and then on top of that, like the British Christians and the Protestants and all that stuff took away his land and all that stuff and like tortured him just for being Irish.
Yeah.
Yes, from his point of view, I get it. From what I'm just going off is like the idea in general of like black people and Irish people one and the same. I'm like, well, it's different.
Absolutely.
And I am not the person to be commenting on that. Like, I am not like a spokesperson for Irish people. I'm not a spokesperson for black people. But I'm just putting my 2 cents out there that I think it's a little bit weird when you compare the two.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I feel like people do that often, though. Like people, when they compare the Holocaust to like slavery, and they're two totally different situations.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's the
I don't know.
whataboutisms. You know what I mean? Say we're talking about like slavery and stuff like that, and there's one person who's getting too uncomfortable, just like, well, what about this? I'm like, well, yeah, that's horrible too, but we're not talking about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yay, snaps
Yeah.
for you, Max.
No, like me talking about this movie and gushing about it does remind me of a really funny like tweet someone posted, and it's the scene from from the first Black Panther where the white military guy does like the cross under the arms thing.
Yeah.
I will say, yes, that is me right now. Yes, I am doing that. This movie's fucking great. I'm not saying this is my culture or saying this is my like story. I'm just saying I enjoyed watching the story and appreciating what was going on.
No, I'm really glad you appreciated it. Like, I feel like everyone should obviously be able to do that. It's crazy that there's some people online who I've seen on TikTok. There's always going to be some haters, though, who are like, I don't understand, and blah, 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 you know.
No, yeah.
But this movie was really good.
Yeah, I want to hear more about what you liked about the film, because you keep asking me a question. I mean, you're very, like, outspoken about, like, your race and what it means to you and your identity and how important that is to you. And just, like, your, you know, like, in your art. I mean, I saw your recital. It was really good.
Thank you.
I'm just curious, like, what you got out of this film, what you were impressed by or wanted to see more of.
For me, there were things in this movie that I understand, because it's definitely like a cultural, historical movie.
Mm-hmm.
And with it being mainstream, there's going to be a lot of audiences who see this movie who are like going to be so confused. When I knew what was going on, because, you know, it's culture. I think when I first watched this movie, I'm so used to watching movies and like having to tap into other people's cultures and like do research and understand it. I was like, holy shoot, like I'm watching this movie and understanding it. But like, since no one else is, like, maybe the movie should have came with an explanation, or like there should have been, I don't know, something more to explain the history and background so that people who weren't a part of like the community would see it and like understand. But honestly, I realized now as we're talking that like that's not necessary.
No.
Just like, you know, like just like if I were to watch a movie and I didn't understand what was going on because I'm not a part of that culture, like, but I do my own research, I think it's the responsibility of anyone to watch it and kind of do their own research so that they understand. I think this movie is amazing because they wrote it so that obviously anyone can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But when you understand like the background of it, it just makes it so much better.
It's targeted at a very specific group of people, but it doesn't shun and push away any people from like enjoying it.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to mansplain you, but that's what I got out of it.
No, I totally agree. And I think that that's like an art form for Ryan Coogler to be able to do that. Oh, that's super hard.
He is top 10 directors for me. You know what? Top 5. Like, everything that he has done has wowed me. Yeah. Even the things that he has just, like, executive producer credits on, like Creed 2 and 3. I like those movies. I think Creed 1 is the best made film, but, like, I like those movies. And the stuff he's done with Black Panther, like, as a comic book nerd, is great. Like, the way he's able to adapt these things and make it believable. And, I mean, when Chadwick Boseman was alive, he was like a king. Like the way that Ryan Coogler portrayed that character and brought out that performance in Chadwick made people look at him as a king. And with this movie, it's bringing out something in people of like appreciating music. Hell, last night I was watching like a TikTok of some people at Comic-Con, one of them dressed up as the main villain in this movie, doing the Irish jig of them circling around him and doing a jig.
That's amazing.
Like, that is hilarious. That is not the intended culture, but it has, you know, it's just this cultural impact that is really fun to see people talk about right now.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping that people become even more interested in like the history of it. Because even
Oh
like
yeah.
there's things that like I didn't know it was based on his actual family.
I didn't know about that, but I did hear a lot of people talk about and we haven't really talked about many of the female actresses in the movie. But I mean, Haley Steinfeld came out and said that like she actually has a black grandpa.
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't know about that.
She's very white passing. You could tell
Yes.
she's mixed with something, but she's very white passing, yes.
Yes.
I think that's why they put her in the movie too, because I think her character was also like had
Yeah.
a black grandparent or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why her mom had the twins working with them and allowed them to live with them. Like her family was more like how do I say this? I don't want to say kinder, but I guess that's the one way to put it.
Yeah.
Kinder to
Absolutely.
black people in general. And oh man, like speaking of like Haley Steinfeld character and just the overall theme of the movie, this movie is horny as fuck.
Really? Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It could have gone a lot worse.
Yes, but here's the thing: you don't see any boobs in this movie or any penises or anything like that. But
Oh my god.
that's a thing you see in most movies because it's titillizing. It's
What movies do you watch?
hold on, I know your ass watched Poor Things.
Oh, I did. Let me shut up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched Saltburn, so I'm not any better. But
All right.
But with this movie, like they push a line. Like they're like the main character, Sammy, goes down on someone, and it's like the dirty talk is crazy. So like,
Wait, I forgot about that.
this movie. Like I don't know how you can watch. You said you watched this with your mom.
Both my parents, yes.
I gotta know how that went. Like
Honestly, when scenes like that come up, it's not that uncomfortable.
okay, I can't. Like I'm like I gotta go. I gotta go leave the room. I can't watch this with you. Especially just
It's awkward when it's so
how-
long.
Yes, yes. Like I have no problem with sex in movies. It's a thing that everybody does. It should be expressed in film. However, I don't want to watch it with my family.
Yeah, I know. And it's like when I think that because of the preview, we expected it. So like,
Mhm.
and then I saw Poor Things with my mom as well.
Oh, okay. Then. Yeah,
So-
okay.
So
But no, just not to be a pig and talk about this stuff. I mean, that is a very big element of this movie.
Away from me too, but I guess you didn't hear that part,
Oh,
huh?
I heard you. I heard you loud and clear, but then you stuck your tongue in my coos and fucked me so hard, I figured you changed your mind.
Keep your voice down now.
I appreciate that they went that far with it. Go on.
do you think it was necessary
Yes.
to tell the story?
Yes. I think it was necessary because, like, the whole, what's the name of the movie? It's Sinners. Like,
Ooh, okay.
This is deemed as a sin in people. It's a taboo. The main character's dad is a preacher. So he's just doing all this stuff to, like, get back at his dad a little bit. And also, he's just like, that woman is hot. And I don't blame him. I'm like,
Honestly,
Yeah,
this is
anyway.
why you're the film critic, because I would have never connected that. That's actually really cool that you caught that.
well, it's also like, it's an expression. Also, like, they're all like wound up, working all the time, and like this is the moment they get to let loose, and then everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to show the different kinds of fun people are having, from the dancing and the music to the drinking and the gambling, to the people fucking behind the counter.
When you put it that way, or like when you bring that up, it's just that also like ties into the history of everything. Like this was the only way that a lot of people at that time in that setting could have fun. And it's so crazy to think that like even that just went to crap. Like the place was owned by the KKK. Vampires came and ruined it. Like wait, they can't even have one night of fun. Dang! Like
Yeah.
what?
Not one decent night. I don't know. I thought it was perfectly within story. Nothing like everything in this movie is like intended to be there. Only thing I have like a little bit of a problem with is there's one moment towards like the started like the final like confrontation where you see vampires come in and there's just these random extras who are now just getting attacked who were never established before. And I
I
think
don't
that
remember this.
so yeah, like when they get like attacked and everything like that, there's just like people were like, "Wait, who's that? Who's that? Who's that?" And then
There was a lot of attack, and it's like who's all dying right now?
Yeah,
Like, what
'cause-
is happening?
yeah, I think especially in like horror movies like this, you need to have like a good like head count of all the characters. And when you just start
Right.
adding people in the background just to show like violence, I'm like, okay, that's it bothered me, but to be fair, if you, I think the account Straw Hat Goofy pointed out that you do see these people in the background prior to this. They're just
Okay.
not shown. Like they're the people who were helping the Smokestack Twins to begin with, and yeah.
Okay,
it's
so there's
just,
consistency there.
so it's just like okay, that's like one nitpicky ass like critique.
What do you think about his decision at the end to like continue to play music when he decided to go, obviously away
Love
from
it.
his dad?
Love it.
So good. That was the best part of the whole. Well, I keep saying everything was the best part of the whole movie, but I thought that part was
Because
really
this movie's
cool.
fucking awesome. That's why it's so good. Like,
I wasn't expecting him to continue playing blues, honestly.
well, all these people died for nothing then.
Yeah, so true. And then like the jump that they had after the credits
Oh, so
to like
good.
the future, I was like, whoa, like I don't even know. That's just
In the I Lied to You sequence, what I really appreciate is that like the music that was set here in the time of blues has affected 80s rock and roll, 90s hip hop, and then modern day. Well, what is in modern day stuff? I don't know. I guess I'm not that cool.
Wait, you mean, like what do you mean? Like what genre are you thinking of?
Like primarily black created like music. Like your no, I wouldn't say R&B because that's more like early 2000s.
Like what? Like name an artist that you're thinking of.
SZA, Kendrick.
Oh, that's R&B.
That's R&B.
Yeah, R&B, hip hop.
This has been the moment white boy gets cultured.
It's okay. You're trying your best.
I know, but in that scene, you see every kind of culture and every like time period dancing, and even when they go past like the Chinese couple, you see a traditional Chinese dancing.
That was really amazing.
I love that. And so that being said, with that scene, having it go full circle with him now in the 90s, still playing that music, showed that like this music transcends time and that it will always be there.
Well said.
That's what I liked about it. I thought it was really cool. And like, also, I just gotta say, we find out that Stack survived the night because Smoke let him live. Love that. And I love that him and Haley Steinfeld's character can now actually be a couple, because that was the thing that was like a problem with them. It was just like, look, we both love each other, but the world will not let us happen. And to see that they managed to actually live together and at least now be comfortable with each other, because it's the 90s. And I mean, the 90s weren't the best, but it was better.
And I didn't even think of it that way, as like they were together, like they wanted to be together and then they ended up together.
Well, like they're both vampires now. They have made their own little community of two, and they seem to be
immortal.
Yeah, they're immortal. So like, who else are they gonna go to?
So true.
And they get to be.
I didn't remember the scene where like she didn't die. How did she not die?
I think what they said is that like the vampire pack mentality. If it looks like something's gonna happen to it, or if it's in danger, it'll split off two members to have their own will, because it seemed like that it was a mixture of like a hive mind but also like individuality. Like everybody knew each other's thoughts, which is really weird. I love that. Like Remick just speaking Chinese out of nowhere in perfect Chinese.
That was scary.
That was funny to me. I don't know, that made me laugh. Just like, and she's saying that white devil knows my language.
Yeah, I mean, that part was, if anything was scary in this movie, it was that, because like they showed the daughter at the beginning, the Chinese couple's daughter.
Yeah.
And then, like for them to be like, oh, we're gonna go get your daughter. I was like, no.
Don't do it. Yeah, no, that was genuinely kind of like a very fucked up thought.
And imagine if someone
bit her.
Could, well, not just get her, but like that part was scary. You know, where you watch a movie and you're like, oh my God, what if this happened to me? Most of the movie's unrealistic, so it could never happen. But that part was just terrifying. Is like you think about these people, and like easily people are getting like taken out by vampires and they're dying, so they experience death, but then they are also immortal, but then they're trapped. So horrifying.
Yeah. Also the terrifying thing of like, this is like the 1930s really racist South, and these Chinese people probably have gotten a lot of like the mocking of their language.
Oh yeah.
And to have like a white guy then just perfectly say it to that person, it's probably like oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that was really terrifying. I think her decision to also call the Haints in was like,
I mean,
so disappointing. I think everyone in the movie collectively went, because I saw it in the movie theater, so everyone went like, oh my God.
Yeah. But
So
to be
crazy.
fair, the way she said it didn't really seem like an invite. It was more just like a "come fight me, you motherfuckers." Like, and that's the thing. The tricky thing about vampires, if you invite them in any way, they'll take it.
Yeah. Do you believe in any truth to this? I'm just curious.
What?
No, like, and do you believe in any truth to like, some people are like, they believe like vampires or spirits
No.
exist, and some people were touched in that way, or like some people thought it was a mockery. I saw on TikTok of like Christianity, like they thought it was very anti-Christian. So I was just interested in your thoughts about that.
I didn't see that at all. Like, when it comes to, I mean, yes, vampires are inherently tied to religious iconography, but the film doesn't really go into those things. Like, at most, they do the garlic, the sunlight, and the wooden stakes. They really don't go into, like, the crosses will fight you off or the holy water or anything like that. So I just kind of saw these as, like, the vampires from Blade and 30 Days of Night, where they're vampires in the animalistic way of like
Right.
they're nocturnal animals and they're very violent, but they also can pass off as human. Whereas like it's not like Nosferatu or the classic Dracula where it's still like religion and scripture can fight off this demon.
What do you think you would have done if you were in that house with them or the juke joint with them?
I don't think I'd be invited, first of all.
I mean, if you
But-
were invited,
Yeah,
do you think that you would have let them in and tried to fight them off, or would you have stayed in the whole night and waited till sunrise? That's what I would have
Oh
done.
my god, I would have waited. I would have jammed out to the fucking
The music from the outside?
Yeah, I was like, damn, they're having fun up there. But I'm not going out there. I don't know. I
No.
feel like, and this is the thing, this like going back to like what this movie reminded me of. It reminded me of like not only little bits of From Dusk Till Dawn, but also reminded me of like Night of the Living Dead. The whole idea of like the undead are outside, and the real tension is people not understanding each other on the inside. Like I thought that was like really cool. Like definitely check out the original Night of the Living Dead, especially for a movie that like in the 1960s that has like a black lead.
Yeah.
That also definitely made me think of this movie. This movie also reminded me of two movies that you would never think of. Blues
Go ahead.
Brothers, mostly because
I've never seen Blues Brothers. I'm ashamed to say.
Oh, I fucking love Blues Brothers. One, because that movie is primarily mostly about like jazz music and the blues and like two brothers who wear suits and hats and all that kind of stuff who are on a mission to get a band together. So it kind of reminded me of that a little bit. It's just that Blues Brothers is a zany comedy with two white guys as the leads, but
That's from the 80s, right?
yeah, it's 80s, maybe early 80s, 70s maybe. But it just reminded me of that with like the music inspiration and stuff like that, and just the idea of like putting a band together. And then at some moments in this movie, it reminded me of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh my god, how?
The vampires are not flamboyant like in Dr. Frankenfurter, but more just like the idea that they're dancing and having fun. And then towards the end of the movie, there's like certain musical cues that are like hard, like 80s rock, goth rock. You know?
Yeah,
Like-
I can agree.
Like it felt like an 80s metal vampire music videos all of a sudden. And it kind of reminded me of a Rocky Horror Picture Show. And almost that this movie is practically a musical at some points.
It is, and a lot of people, I was not expecting that when I went into the theater.
Me neither.
But it worked. I feel like sometimes, okay, I'm a musical theater major, but I will admit, well, I was a musical theater major. I will admit, when I see a movie and I don't expect it to be a musical and I hear music, I'm like, oh my God, don't start singing, please. But this, it worked.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it made sense. It wasn't too much. It added that element of kind of dread, because like when they started singing, I was like, oh my God, what are they going to do next?
Yeah. The music is good. The people singing are good.
Yeah,
Like,
it was well written.
Miles Camden that man has a voice. I forgot the name of the actress who does Pale Pale Moon, but that's a great song. But yeah, definitely give the soundtrack for this movie, the score and the songs, a listen to. Awesome.
Just Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Good job. He's really young. He's not even 40 yet. I think he's like 38, 39,
I know.
which means more great movies for the
Right.
next 2 decades if
And
things go well.
the cool thing about this movie is that like he had a specific deal where he got most of the money back in this movie, and also in
Nice.
25 years he gets the rights to this.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
So yeah, which is awesome.
I'm excited to see how this does during award season.
Oh, the only thing that has me worried about it during award season is that it's a horror movie and that it was released in April.
I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, why not October. I feel like it might have done a lot better. I mean, it did really well, but
I don't know. I don't know. April's a weird time because it's sort of the start of the summer movie season, but also it's still spring. But I don't know. But then again, it did really well. It took over IMAX theaters during Thunderbolt's run.
which is so crazy. But good job. Do you think that this movie would you watch it again?
Yes, I wanna
Multiple times, yes.
Oh yeah, I would show this to. This is a movie I want to show to more people. Like, dude, you gotta
Yeah.
watch this. You gotta watch this. Just go into it and just enjoy it. It's so good. Like, you'll get something out of it. It's perfect. I love it.
It is so good.
I don't know if there's gonna be a movie this year that's gonna top this
No,
for me.
absolutely not.
Like, the only thing I can think of, and it's only because I love that character, is Superman. But I think at the end of the year, it's gonna be this is number one
Yeah.
because it's just
True.
a great film. It's just perfect.
And it's crazy how I feel like lately, and you watch more movies than me, and I
Mhm.
watch a lot of movies. There haven't been many good movies like this, like where it ties in history and like touches your emotions and is also fun to watch. Which that's why Ryan Coogler is a genius.
He just seems like someone I just want to like sit down and have a genuine conversation about like movies and stuff like that. Like, one of the cool things about this movie is like during the press for this movie, he made a video explaining film ratios and IMAX like film strips.
You're kidding.
No, yeah, he was just like, yeah, I made like he discussed like what the different film ratios and why IMAX is so impressive to watch things on.
Did he go to school? Did he go to USC or do we know where he went?
No, I personally do not know where he went. All I know, and the coolest thing I know about, is that like he didn't have enough money to pay for a screenwriting software, so his girlfriend at the time paid for it, and
Wow.
now she's his fiance.
Good for her.
I
She
think
birthed the
that's-
star.
That is couple goals right there.
Totally. And I just looked it up. He went to St. Mary's College for high school.
Okay.
And then for his undergrad, he did go to USC,
Okay, that makes sense.
which like makes the best filmmakers, of course.
Yeah. Little jealous, but
Yeah, I mean, we'll get there eventually,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, maybe. Not at his level. I'm gonna be real. I'm like, I can't do that.
In your own right, you might.
Maybe. He's good. He's great. I will never second guess a Ryan Coogler thing. Hell, even though I think the trailer for Ironheart was alright, just because his name is on it, I am excited to see it.
When is that coming out?
Sometime in June. I don't know. They're not doing a good job marketing it. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of it. I just looked it up. Like,
Yeah.
had no idea this is a thing.
Yeah, no. I think we can wrap this video up. We've been going on for a while. Thank you so much, Willow, for doing this.
Of course. Thank you for asking me. I was so excited to talk about it.
Well, to be fair, I'm gonna be real with
You needed me.
Yes, I'm glad I got you. Here's the thing, though. I was really worried about like picking people for this video because I was like, okay, if I go to Willow, does that basically be like, well, Willow, you're black, you can.
Yeah, no. But I mean, well, you didn't ask me in that way. Like,
No. I put out a call and I said, hey, does anybody want to do this video? And you said yes, and I was like, oh, cool, okay,
so it just works.
yeah, it's perfect.
Thanks, Max.
You can check out all the videos Willow has been a part of. A lot of really
You're
fun
kidding.
videos.
I do?
You have a playlist, yeah?
Oh, yay. Oh my God. I didn't even notice.
Yes, go on my
I feel
channel.
so special.
Yes, you have a whole playlist, every appearance you have, and then definitely subscribe to our channel. We're gonna have a bunch of videos coming up, like of just stuff that we're recapping. A lot of cool stuff on the channel you can watch. And in the future, we're gonna be talking about the Superman movies, the Fantastic Four movies, and the Jurassic Park movies. So check that shit out.
Check it out, or else I'll be mad.
Yes, she will be mad. So yeah, like, subscribe, and share, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye.
Bye.